So today we're going to be getting into the Starsand Island controversy and everything that's been going on with this new cozy game that we were all looking forward to, and also talking about the Steam Deck and the Steam Machine. Apparently the Steam Deck is completely sold out, both the LCD and the OLED models, and the Steam Machine is of course delayed. But first, welcome to another episode of the Cozy Arcade Weekly, where we discuss gaming news, gaming events, and a little bit of tech. And if that's something that you're interested in, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. And also chime in with your thoughts and theories on these topics as well. If you have some information, please send it over here in the comments. So I played a little bit of Starsand Island through the Xbox Game Pass, and while it did have its weird moments and weird glitches, overall I really enjoyed playing it. I didn't really see any issues that would completely deter me away from playing the game, but then as I look more into it, I started seeing some like weird information come up about this game. For example, backers not getting their keys for this game, alleged AI usage, and some really bizarre and strange positive reviews on the Steam page from people who apparently have put so many hours into the game, but like literally no achievements, which is weird because you get an achievement like almost immediately when you play the game. So clearly there was something funny going on with that. So first, let's talk about backers not getting their keys, right? This was the response from the dev team. To our Kickstarter backers, firstly, we sincerely apologize for the delay in getting your keys to you. Our customer service inbox is currently completely overwhelmed, and we want to ensure no one is left behind. To speed things up, we will be personally verifying your information to resolve this as fast as possible. Thank you for your continued patience and support. So on one hand, you have a group of people who are very upset about not getting their keys, especially when the game drops. You see people enjoying the game and you're wondering where in the world is your key. You back the game, and so you deserve to play it, right? So I completely understand the frustration and just getting really upset. I mean, even I get upset if I order something like through Amazon, which Amazon usually do pretty good, but FedEx, me and FedEx got issues. But when I order something and there's a delay, I get super frustrated. And so I completely understand and I get it. Usually there's a reason, but at the time, you don't want to hear that, you know? So I completely understand and get why a lot of people were really upset. It sowed a seed of distrust with the team, you know? And then on the other side, you have a lot of people who are very understanding of what's going on. They're like, you know what, it's a new development team. You know, they're trying to work out issues, trying to work out things. Sometimes we have high expectations, high hopes for how things are supposed to go. And when, you know, it doesn't happen, then you have to pivot and you got to kind of rework things. So you have people that are very understanding of that. You know, they kind of understand the back end of how things kind of work. So, you know, you just got the two sides of, you know, people who are really frustrated and some people who are very understanding. But like I said, this was one of the steps of sowing that seed of distrust with the team. And then we ended up with these overly positive reviews. So like I said before, reviews for Starsand Island were really weird, and people were raising an eyebrow at the overly positive reviews of people who were playing over 4 hours with 0 achievements. And like I said, you should at least have an achievement from playing the game, even just a little bit, but you have hours in and you have no achievements. And just some really other sketchy things, like the reviews were from people who were playing the same games, like the same 3 games, and they're leaving the same kind of review. So it looked a little suspicious. It didn't look right. And so when you think about it, you're like, why would a bunch of people leave all these positive reviews on a game and they're not even playing it? Like, what would be the reason for this? And so immediately everyone's thinking, oh, of course, the dev team has something to do with this, obviously, because you're not really sabotaging if you're leaving positive reviews. Like if you're trying to sabotage something, you're gonna leave some negative reviews, you know? So it's looking like the dev team paid maybe a company or something to kind of shoot out all of these positive reviews. And so, yeah, that's where a lot of people are thinking. You know, obviously there's no evidence of anything, so it's just theorized. But the dev team did respond to all of these weird reviews, and this is what they said. We have recently noticed a large number of overly positive praise comments about our game appearing across various social platforms. At first, we believed this meant our game was being recognized and appreciated. However, we soon noticed something unusual on Steam. Some comments were posted after very short playtime, were released at nearly the same time, and it appeared to be AI generated. This made us realize that something might not be right. Is this some kind of overpraise as an attack? We have no concrete evidence, but it does feel as though someone may be doing this intentionally. What makes it even more puzzling is that this approach is not cheap, since leaving a review requires purchasing the game, which we later discovered that some of these accounts refunded the game after posting their reviews. We would like to say this clearly: making an indie game is not easy. We simply want to focus on building a good product and giving the players who truly like our game a better experience. So, to whoever may be behind this, we kindly ask you to stop. Please let us focus on making our game in peace. We pose no threat to anyone. Thank you very much for your understanding. Next announcement, we will respond to the main concerns raised by the community. So, what do you think about this response? So here's my thought. Let's say they genuinely have no idea what's going on. They are not behind all of these weird positive reviews. Like, they literally have no idea and they're just as confused as we all are. How else could you prove that you have nothing to do with it other than to write this response? You know, like, how could you possibly plead your case? Like, you can't. Like, you literally have no evidence to show that you had no involvement in it. So it's really hard to kind of defend that you don't have anything to do with it. So I think it's just a really slippery slope with this. At the end of the day, it just becomes one of those believe what you want to believe and keep it going, you know? You play the game, you decide if you personally like playing it, and if you do, continue playing it. If you don't, stop playing it. If you can return it on Steam, if it's under 2 weeks and under 2 hours, I believe, return the game if you don't like it. I don't think these weird, random positive reviews have an effect on the actual game. You know what I'm saying? So if you have to decide if you like it. You play the game, you decide if you like it, and you just go on from there. Because at the end of the day, you can't prove whether or not they had something to do with it, or if they didn't have something to do with it, or what's behind it. You can't. And I think it's actually more of a headache trying to figure it out. So I say play the game if you want to, don't play the game if you don't want to, and let that be that. Fake reviews at the end of the day hold such little weight to the actual gameplay. Lastly, the possibility of AI usage within this game. As of right now, they have not stated that they use AI within the game, and so we have to go with that. There have been some talk about the translation, and the wording might be kind of weird, but yeah, that just goes down to translation. But as far as actual AI usage, they have not claimed that it's in the game, so we have to just believe that and go with that until, you know, more information comes out about that. Some people have looked at the main artwork for the game and pointed out some places that like humans would not make those mistakes when it comes to the artwork, such as the texture on the hat and the other wing of the bird flying, you know, around the logo, and just saying those look kind of weird and is obviously giving AI without any evidence or proof that it is. But some people chimed in and said that those mistakes are normal mistakes that someone would naturally make and doesn't automatically mean that it's AI. And so just like I said before, if they have not stated that there's AI usage in the game, then we have to trust that and go with that. But at the end of the day, you make your own decision. If you just really believe it is, then, and you don't want to play it, that's completely up to you. That's your decision. If at a later date they come out and say that there was AI usage within the game, then you go from there and you make your decision based off of that. But like I said, I believe that if they have not stated it, then you just kind of go with that. Until it comes out, if they are using it, then you go from there. I personally think that it is extremely frustrating lately for these development teams who genuinely do not use AI within their games to constantly be harassed and attacked and accused of using AI within their games. It is so disheartening. It's so easy to just call everything AI these days. If something looks or sounds too perfect, it gets called AI. If it looks a little wonky or it sounds a little wonky, it gets called AI. Like everything is just getting an AI stamp on it these days, whether it's too good or too bad, it's just all AI at this point. And yeah, I could understand for a company that genuinely and truly doesn't use AI to constantly keep getting this stamp, it to be extremely frustrating. So yeah, I just feel for these companies, man. I feel for them. If companies would just be honest about their AI usage and put that as a tag so that people are aware and make their own decisions on whether or not they want to play the game. And if all the companies were just honest about this, things would go so much better, because now it's just kind of accusation after accusation after accusation, and it is exhausting, you know? So yeah, if companies were just honest about it and just say, yo, I used AI for this, or I use a little bit of AI for that, or heck, my whole game is AI. That way people can make their decisions and go from there. And if they do that, then when you don't see an AI tag, then you can trust that that game doesn't, and you can also go from there. So I just wish everybody was honest. This whole trying to hide it, it's not working. But like I said earlier, I really enjoy playing Starsand Island. It is such a fun game. There is so much to do. It's so much to see. Like, the world is actually really vast. It's really big. I love the fact that you can ride on ostriches and skateboards and roller skates. I love that they're still farming, they're still foraging. Like, it still has all of the typical things that we do love in a farming sim, but this is just really expansive. I really genuinely love it, and I think it looks great. So I know they said with the Xbox, the quality is really bad and there's so many things going wrong with the Xbox, but I do think that since then a lot of things have been fixed. So again, it is an early access game, so I wouldn't expect for things to be perfect. I don't know why we still think that. Like, if you don't like early access games, if you don't like seeing bugs, if you don't like seeing glitches, don't play any early access game. Like, just stay away from early access. If you see early access, that is your cue to dip out, because it's going to be glitches and bugs. It's early access. It's not a full game release. Now, if it's a full game release, I can see why you get upset, but it's early access, and even full game releases still have issues. It is what it is. So yeah, I don't know why people are so upset about the bugs and glitches. Now, I do understand if it's completely unplayable, but again, it will get ironed out. So patience, people, patience. Okay, so now let's talk about Valve. I already knew the Steam machine was gonna get delayed, and I'm pretty sure you did too if you've looked at all into PC parts and these RAM prices. It's complete madness. I made a video not too long ago about this same topic, about the Steam machine getting potentially delayed. It was a rumor video, it was an article that was like more so of a rumor, but the only reason why I made that video is because it was a lot of truth. Well, I don't know truth, but it made a lot of sense at the time. Like I said, if you've been checking out these RAM prices, because they are getting ridiculous. This is all due to the massive demand from AI centers. Now they're looking at reconsideration of the price so that it can still match competitively. Now, we didn't know what the price was previously, so if they come out with the price now, we're not gonna notice the difference. We're not gonna be able to compare it to anything. So well played on their part, well played. But yeah, the RAM prices are getting crazy. So it's also affecting the Steam Deck. So all of the models, the LCD and the OLED, are completely out of stock with no idea, no mention of when it will return, which is really sad if you were waiting to get a Steam Deck. Of course, it's under the same umbrella of, you know, just the shortage of parts. And so it's really sad, because the Steam Deck actually was a really great choice, because compared to the other handheld devices, it was more on the cheaper side. It was more on the affordable side. And so, I mean, across all the boards though, a lot of these, you know, PC parts are just going to jump up in price anyway, just whether Steam Deck or not. But yeah, it's just really sad to see that it's out of stock with no mention of when it's returning. You are still able to find a Steam Deck, but you're going to be looking into paying a lot more for it than, you know, if you were getting it from the Valve website. So yeah, that's a little disappointing. Very sad. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and talking about these topics. I really appreciate your time. And please let me know if you have played Starsand Island, if you're enjoying it, or if you're not enjoying it, let me know why. And the Steam Machine, were you interested in getting a Steam Machine? And how do you feel about this news of it getting delayed? Or even the Steam Deck, were you thinking about a Steam Deck? How do you feel about the news of it being out of stock? If you have a Steam Deck, hang on very tight to it, because yeah, it's rough out here. But yeah, please consider giving this video a like if you've enjoyed it. And like I said, every week I talk about gaming news and gaming events. So if that is your speed, please consider giving me a sub. I would really appreciate it, and it will let me know to keep going. I also talk about cozy games and show first looks, so if you are interested in that as well, click on any of the videos on my page. And yeah, like I said, I really appreciate you, and I will catch you guys later. Bye.